Hey everyone! Today we are diving into a ton of DIY projects, and I am sharing all of my tips and ideas for simple changes you can make around your home to create that cozy, charming cottage style look and add a little bit of soul to your home. Let's jump in. Never underestimate the power of paint. It is one of the easiest ways to make updates to thrifted pieces or even furniture pieces that you might already have in your home. Today I have a mix of furniture pieces that are getting a fresh coat of paint to include this wood shelf for my bedroom and also this antique cabinet that I found at Goodwill for just $13. I am planning to turn this into a charming nightstand for my bedroom. I wanted to add a cottage feeling to my bedroom, so I created this sweet little curtain using a thrifted sheet that I already had. The edge of the sheet made a beautiful bottom detail on the curtain. I made this curtain using a no-sew technique, but you could certainly sew it if you wanted to. To hang it on the cabinet, I used a French door curtain rod. It opens perfectly, making it easy to get to whatever you need inside of the cabinet. Speaking of updating furniture pieces you have, this cabinet has been all over my house and I finally decided it belonged here in the bedroom. I gave it a fresh coat of paint in my favorite white, Dover white. I kept the original hardware because I think it's so charming. It is little details like this that make a room feel collected. If you have followed my channel for a while, one thing you may know about me is that I love to mix patterns in my spaces. To be honest, I have struggled with figuring out how I want my bedroom to look, and I've spent a lot of time gathering inspiration. I knew I wanted some color and pattern in here, but I still wanted it to feel very calming. I decided to add a bit of blue and pattern with the sheets. These are 100% cotton sheets, and they are actually from Amazon. I looked at some of the bedding from Piglet in Bed, which I absolutely love the look of their linens, but they are a bit of a high price tag, so I went searching for a similar look that was a bit more affordable. I'm finally updating the quilt in here, and I loved the one that was here, and the only reason why I decided to go ahead and make a switch is because I wanted some pattern in here, and the one that was there before was just a solid color. So I decided to put that one down on the guest bed, and then I brought in this quilt that has a floral pattern with this adorable gingham ruffle. The other color I brought into the space was a sage green. When I mix patterns and colors in a space, I try to repeat two core colors in a couple different places. Now that the bed is mostly styled, I want to show you how I created this very simple no-sew cottage pillow. I am using an old curtain. I kept several of them when I updated our curtains a couple years ago. These were the old ones that are faded on one side from the sun, but I just tucked that side on the inside whenever I use them for projects, and these were perfect for this project. You could also use painter's drop cloth. That would be a very affordable option, or even any other scrap fabric that you may have. You do need a rather long piece of fabric for this because you need enough on the sides to be able to tie the pillow. Once I had the pillow all measured out and I had my seam created on the back of the pillow, I left the ends open, and then my lovely husband helped me use the Cricut to create the lettering for the front of the pillow. If you don't have a Cricut or don't want to mess with all of the steps that kind of go along with using a Cricut, Amazon has a ton of iron-on letter options. The wording on the pillow, of course, is totally customizable, but I will give you a little backstory about why I chose the words "a cozy cottage." The wording has double meaning for me. I love cottage style decorating, but also the name of my business is a cozy content company. So it was neat to be able to kind of marry those two things together and incorporate that into my home. Next up, we are going to work on an easy no-sew pleated lampshade, and I'll be honest, I was a little intimidated when I was looking at some of these tutorials for making pleated lampshades, but I will say my friend Heidi over on Instagram has a fabulous tutorial, so I will link it in the description for you. I actually followed hers to help me put together my lampshade here, so be sure to check that out if you would prefer some pictures and kind of the steps written out a bit more. Hers is really fantastic, but the basic gist is you need to measure the circumference of your lampshade and also the height of your lampshade. You're going going to want to add 2 feet to the measurement of the circumference and then about 2 inches to the height of the lampshade. And this is just going to give you enough fabric to be able to make the pleats. To make the pleats, you make 2 folds. Fold the fabric in towards itself on both sides, and then I leave just a little bit of space between each pleat. Now, I used sewing clips to make the entire lampshade before I started using the glue because, of course, it's much easier to make adjustments when it is not glued together. For the base of the lamp, I knew I wanted to add a little bit of something different there. So what I landed on was using a decoupage technique to add a floral design. So the basic idea with decoupage is you take the napkin and you peel the back layer off so you just have the top. And what I have found is the more white space that you can cut away from the design, the better it looks. I also added just a tiny bit of water to thin out my Mod Podge a little bit, and that helps to keep the wrinkles at a minimum. I am still enjoying summer, but I did kind of have a transition to fall on my mind when I was styling this little corner. Dried flowers are one of my favorite ways to start transitioning my home into the fall. So I decided to go ahead and pull the floral stems that I had in here, I believe since the springtime now, and added in some really cozy, neutral dried florals to the basket. We're going to work on the cabinet on the other side of the bed now, and I have said this before, but decorating a home is a process, and this space still won't be done today. I would really love to find some artwork to lean on the top of this cabinet, and I just haven't found anything that I really liked, so the search continues. I don't like to put a ton of stuff on my nightstands because I like the space to still be usable. I love these old wood shelves with the pegs in them, so whenever I spot them, I always scoop them up, and I found this one on Marketplace for just $20, and the thing that is so neat about this one is the person I bought it from actually made this one by hand, and on the back of the shelf are all of his handwritten measurements in pencil, and I think that is just a really neat detail. I did paint this shelf white before we hung it up in the bedroom, and everything that you see here on the shelf are things that I already had in my home, and I just pieced them together to style it. This little corner in our bedroom really showcases one of my favorite color combinations, and that is wood tones with the white. I just think it looks so warm and cozy. I really do believe when you are designing a space that it is those tiny details and also those handmade details that come together to make a space feel very collected and, as I like to say, have a bit of soul. The very last thing I wanted to add to the space is this adorable quilted couch topper. I love the pattern that this brings into the space, and as many of you know, we do have dogs, so this just makes things a little bit easier. If they're laying up here on the love seat, I can just pull this off and toss it in the washing machine. Plus, I just love the cozy look that it adds to the space. I shared in my last video that I had plans for a gallery wall in this empty space in my living room. I have been collecting wood frames from the thrift store for a while, and I finally had enough to complete this project. I gave all of the frames a coat of white paint just to tie them all together, but I really love the look of a gallery wall where all of the frames are slightly different, but I wanted to create a more cohesive look by making them all the same color. The mismatched frames just add a bit of character and charm to the space and makes it feel a bit more relaxed and whimsical, which is how I love for my home to feel. I don't always style my frames with the glass on the front, and what I do most of the time is I just tuck the piece of glass in the back of the frame. That way I still have it if I ever need it for any reason. When I was putting together the design of the frames, I first drew it out on a piece of paper and then laid everything out on the floor to get an idea of what it would look like. And then my husband is helping me out again with this project. I needed another set of hands, and he is also just much better at the measurements and the math that goes into a project like this. In my opinion, it's these little projects like this that really help your home to have that soul, to tell the story of your family. I am sneaking in just a little nod to fall over here in this corner to finish out the whole look by adding some dried hydrangeas, and I did spray these with some hairspray so the petals didn't end up all over the floor. Sometimes bringing in a little bit more character is all about the small details. I have been wanting to add some trim to the bookcases that we put in our living room for a while now. So what I decided to do was add these scallop wood pieces that I found on Amazon, and I painted them white, and then my husband put them up using some liquid nails, and then we just put some painter's tape across them while they were drying to make sure that they stuck really well, and I love how this came out. My garden is still full of beautiful flowers, so I put together a huge arrangement that I wanted to style here on the coffee table. Another way to add a little bit of charm to your home is to take a cozy corner and style it in an unexpected way. My husband built me this really beautiful wood shelf above the window in our breakfast nook area. What I wanted to do was add a place where I could dry my flowers. So I got 2 wooden dowel rods from Home Depot and painted those the same color as the shelf. And then we added in some curtain straps to hold the dowel rod underneath of the shelf. These little vases are actually made out of plastic, so they are not glass, perfect for this spot in my kitchen. And then I also decided to add in some hydrangeas to dry. I have a little spot right there next to the cabinets where I plan to tuck a cute little ladder or step stool just to make it easier for me to get up there when I want to change out the flowers that are drying. Since we were already here in this area, I decided that I would go ahead and style my table to transition into fall. I am absolutely loving green for fall this year, so I added this beautiful tablecloth that has a green pattern, and then I decided the cabbageware didn't have to just be for the springtime, so I brought in a few of those pieces to tie in the green as well. My bottle drying rack that was on my kitchen table, I went ahead and moved to the kitchen island just for something a little bit different. In this week's Cozy Chats, I wanted to sum up some easy and affordable ways to bring in that cottage charm to your home. Handmade pieces, family photos, those tiny, unexpected details are some of the best and easiest ways to bring that charm to your home. Thank you all so much for spending time with me today. If you are new here, I hope you will subscribe and stay a while. In next week's video, I am going to be sharing my vision for fall in my home this year, and we might jump into a bit of decorating focused more around transitioning your home from summer to fall. I will see you all in the next video.